Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to warmly welcome all of you to today's seminar. It is truly a pleasure to be here with everyone. Especially, I would like to greet the Honorable Professor Dr. Firyal and all the participants who are here with us today. Our seminar today is entitled The Role of Technology in Improving Students' Listening Skill of English Department at UNTIRTA. This interesting topic will be presented by Rifatuzzahro Kamilah and Firyal, Nidaan, Khofiyya. Without further delay, let's begin the presentation. Please give you full attention to our presenters. The time and screens are yours.
Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Let me begin by expressing our gratitude for the opportunity to present our research today. We are from Group 19 from Class 6C, English Education Department, Sultan Ageng University. My name is Firyal Khofiyya, and I am joined by my partner, Rifatuzzahro Kamilah. In this seminar, I will begin by presenting the background, research, question, research proposal, and the literature review of our paper. Okay, our paper is titled The Role of Technology in Improving Students' Listening Skills of English Department at UNTIRTA. The study was conducted to analyze how digital tools support the development of students' listening abilities in English, especially within the context of higher education. Here is the background of our paper. In the digital age, listening remains one of the most challenging skills for language learners. According to the EF English Proficiency Index 2023, Indonesia ranks 79 out of 113 countries, indicating low proficiency in English. Additionally, PISA 2022 results show that Indonesian students continue to underperform in literacy-related competencies, including listening. Despite these challenges, the widespread use of technology among youth offers new opportunities. The 2023 APGII report shows that 98.6% of Indonesians aged 13 until 24 use the internet daily, mostly accessing platforms such as YouTube and Spotify. Moreover, a 2024 Snapchat survey revealed that 67% of students aged 15 until 22 prefer digital media like podcasts and apps over textbooks for learning English. As the figure 1, a chart of students' preferred learning tools for English here. This shift highlights the potential of technology to support listening skills. However, despite the high exposure to digital content, the use of such a technology for academic listening purposes is still underutilized. And this raises a critical question: to what extent does technology improve listening comprehension, and how effectively is it being integrated into learning environments? Okay, based on the context, our study was guided by the following research question. So the first is, what is the impact of technology on students' listening skills in English learning? And the second, what are students' perception and attitudes toward the use of technology improving their listening skills? And the last is, how the lectures integrate technology into English listening instruction, and what challenges do they face? Accordingly, the purposes of the study are to investigate the impact of technology on students' listening skills, to examine students' perception and attitudes toward using technology for listening development, and to explore how lecturers integrate technology in their teaching and the obstacles they encounter. Now, let's turn to the theoretical framework. So the first is about listening skills. Listening is not a passive act, it is a complex active process of receiving and constructing meaning from spoken input. Despite often being overlooked, listening is the most frequently used language skill and plays a central role in language acquisition. Studies show that effective listening allows learners to enhance vocabulary, grammar, intonation, and fluency. It supports both comprehension and productive skills through continual exposure and feedback. Furthermore, learners often undergo a silent period during which they internalize language input without producing speech, and this phase, while quiet, is rich in cognitive engagement and allows learners to focus on meaning making without performance pressure. Active listening also involves responding non-verbally, sustaining attention, and interpreting both linguistic and emotional cues. Moreover, it develops segmenting abilities, which are crucial for understanding speech flow and improving fluency. Research also highlights its broader benefits, improving productivity, communication, emotional intelligence, and adaptability in real life and intercultural situations. And the next is about technology in language education. So technology has transformed language teaching by providing rich interactive learning environments. It allows for a learner-centered approach, foster collaboration, and supports autonomous learning. Lectures now use multimedia such as videos, apps, online text to supplement traditional instruction and facilitate access to authentic language input. When applied effectively, these tools increase motivation, enhance critical thinking, and encourage students to take responsibility for their learning. However, the success of technology in education is not automatic. It depends largely on how lecturers integrate these tools with meaningful pedagogy and content relevance. And the last is about technology-based learning media for teaching listening skills. Various digital tools have been found effective in improving with listening skills. Podcasts, for instance, offer authentic audio input and can be accessed flexibly, enhancing vocabulary and comprehension. And then there's radio news promotes critical listening and comprehension in real-world context, and also mobile-assisted language learning, or MOL, provides personalized and portable listening practice, make it easier for students to engage with content anytime and anywhere. So multimedia tools, including video conferencing and interactive modules, further improve learning by integrating visual and auditory input, enhancing retention and engagement. These tools allow students to interact with content meaningfully, often without the direct presence of an instructor. In conclusion, these studies open that with the right intervention, technology-based media can create interactive, motivating, and accessible listening environments that benefit both learners and also instructors. So that concludes the background research question and proposals as well as our literature review. Now I would like to hand over the presentation to my partner, Rifatuzzahro Kamilah, who will continue by explaining our research methodology, findings, and the conclusion. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Firyal. Now let's move to the research method. This study applied a qualitative research method, and the data source was a group focus consisting of 10 groups, 10 English department students of UNTIRTA. And for to gather the data, we used a semi-structured online survey using Google Forms. And for the distribution, we utilized via email, WhatsApp, and social media platforms to reach the participants easily. And the main goal of this method was to capture students' perspectives and experiences regarding the integration of technology in their language learning journeys. Next slide. All right. Let's now move on to the result and discussion part. First, regarding the impact of technology on students' listening skills, we could see the table here. Most students agreed that technology really improves their listening skills by making practice easier, more interesting, and more accessible. And popular platforms they mentioned include Spotify, YouTube, podcasts, and Netflix, Duolingo, and BBC Learning English. And these platforms provide authentic input and real-life situation, also natural pronunciation and cultural context. And features like subtitles, playback speed control, and translation tools were found to significantly increase comprehension and reduce anxiety. Technology also allows students to practice listening anytime and anywhere, encouraging regular practice outside the classroom. And when compared with previous studies, these findings support the results of Huang and Bui 2024, and also there are also Kumari from 2023, and the last is from Red and Kukulska Hulme 2015 about. They mention about the digital tools that, and appropriate content can greatly enhance listening comprehension skills. Next slide. And the next is about the students' integration of technology, students' perception and attitudes towards technology. Most students held positive attitudes. They felt that technology made learning more interesting and motivating. They preferred using videos, songs, and interactive apps over traditional textbooks. And for the content that matched their personal interests, also helped improve practice, frequency, and listening comprehension. However, they also faced challenges such as, for example, the difficulty understanding native speakers' fast speech, slang, and accents. And also some videos had inaccurate subtitles, which made understanding harder. And the last is technology could also cause distractions such as notification from social media apps during study time. And these results align with studies by Shahid and Ali 2017 and Ulberg and Daniels 2013, who emphasized that while technology boosts motivations, students also need guidance and self-control to overcome its drawbacks. Next slide. Okay, finally, let's discuss how lecturers integrate technology in teaching listening. Most lecturers have utilized YouTube, Google Classroom, and BBC Learning English from how they told about them. However, they still face challenges such as unstable internet connections, or limited access to useful applications, and some materials being less interesting for students. And for successful technology integration, lecturers should choose contextual and interesting materials that have a good digital literacy and receive institutional support to overcome technical issues. And these findings confirms the previous research by Maulina et al. 2022, who emphasized that the success of technology integration is determined by teacher readiness, material suitability, and infrastructure support. And the presence of technology alone is not enough without the right learning strategy. All right. That's all the result and the discussion part. Now we are open to any question or feedback from the audience. I'll give it back to the moderator.
Okay, now we will continue to the Q&A session. If you have any question, please feel free to raise your hand. Anyone who would like to ask the first question?
May I?
Okay, Agnes.
Okay, thank you, moderator, for this opportunity. Let me introduce myself. My name is Agnes Monica Silombing from Group 18. Wanted to ask about, you mentioned that technology helps improve students' listening skills, but sometimes students just watch videos passively. How can we make sure they really engage and improve their listening? That's all from me.
Okay, next, is there any question?
May I ask questions?
Okay, Merdi.
All right. My name is Nidaan Namasi. I would like to ask, what if the school doesn't have strong internet access or modern devices? Can technology still help with listening practice? That's all. Thank you.
So, okay, thank you to our presenters. The time and place are yours to answer the questions.
All right, thank you, moderator, and thank you for the question. From the question from Agnes, to make sure students are truly engaged when using technology for listening activities, actually we need to design interactive and purposeful tasks that promote active processing. So, for example, before listening, we can ask students to predict the content based on the title or visuals. This can activate their prior knowledge and sets a purpose for listening. And then during listening, we can integrate tasks such as answering comprehension questions, filling in missing words, identifying specific information like dates, names, or key ideas. And then after listening, we can summarize what they heard in their own words and then discuss their opinions or interpretation in groups, complete a follow-up task like writing a response or recording their own audio reply. And this approach is aligns with Mayer's cognitive theory of multimedia learning, which states that learners understand better when they actively process both verbal and visual materials. And the theory highlights the importance of guiding students' attention and helping them make meaningful connections between what they hear and what they already know. So it's not just about using videos, it's about how we guide the listening process with the structured tasks that support comprehension and retention. Thank you. Is that clear for Agnes?
Okay, so for the next question, I will respond with this question about the trouble in internet access and modern devices. That's a good question, actually, because even in a school, even if the school doesn't have strong internet access or modern devices, technology can still be useful for listening practice. For example, teachers or lecturers can use offline materials like downloaded the podcast, audio files, or videos that don't need internet connection during class. Also, simple devices like MP3 players, radios, or CDs can still support listening activities without relying on modern tools or fast internet. So we're talking about technology here. And so we can see that technology doesn't always mean something advanced or online. It can also be something basic but effective, as long as the content is suitable and interesting for the students. Does that answer your question, Mirdi?
Yes, that's clear. Thank you.
All right. Okay, for the Q&A session is over. To conclude, this study explored the role of technology in supporting the development the development of students' English listening skills at UNTIRTA. This study examine how technology supports the development of students' English listening skills at UNTIRTA. Digital platforms like YouTube, Spotify, and Duolingo offer flexible, authentic, and interest-based learning experiences. And students generally showed positive attitudes, feeling more motivated and engaged. Though they also face challenges like internet issues and difficulty with fast or accented speech. And teachers or lecturers play a vital role in guiding technology use, but face obstacles such as limited infrastructure and content relevance. A balanced, well-supported approach is needed to integrate technology effectively in listening instruction. That's all from our group. I'll give it back to the moderator.
All right, everyone, we have now reached the end of our seminar. We hope today's session has given us meaningful insight about how technology can improve student listening skills. Before we officially close the session, we would like now to present certificates as a token of appreciations. Okay, first to our speakers, Rifatuzzahro Kamilah and Firyal, Nidaan, Khofiyya. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and time with us. And of course, thank you also to all participants for attending and being part of today's discussions. Your certificates will be shared with you shortly. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you next time and have a wonderful day.